This baby explained he was living in his mother's purse for 3 years. This mom's pain tolerance is wow after doctors turned her breech baby. Hearing that your baby's in breech position can cause distress and worry to moms who are about to give birth. Breech, or suki in Filipino, is when your baby's feet are poised to come out. First, if a baby's detected as a breech at the beginning of a pregnant woman's 3rd trimester, the chances are good that he'll turn on his own over the next 2 months. But if he's still in a breech position near the due date, then a doctor is likely to recommend a C-section for delivery to ensure the baby's safety. Moms who have breech babies can try a number of ways to turn their babies, including yoga, acupuncture, swimming, and pelvic tilts with their doctor's approval, of course. On smartparenting.com's parent chat, some moms have shared their doctors told them playing music or talking to their baby might even help. No harm in trying right. What looks painful and scary, however, is external cephalad version, the technique where a doctor places firm but gentle pressure on the abdomen of the woman at 36 to 38 weeks to encourage the baby to turn. We've seen several egg videos, and it always leaves us Nanyina. One such video was an done on Vanessa Fisher, a mom from Fort Worth, Texas in the United States last December. She shared a video of her husband, and we have to say epic at 38 weeks, which was performed in the hospital by her doctor. The video has been viewed over 4 million times and has gotten more than 800 shares. In the accompanying caption, Vanessa says that before the procedure, she and her doctor attempted some other methods to turn the baby. Naturally, ultimately, our goal is to avoid a cesarean section by any means possible, she says, before urging others to share the video and be informed that this kind of option is available to fellow mamas with breech babies. Well, Vanessa looks a little uncomfortable in some parts of the video. She woes at how she was able to maintain her composure until the end. In fact, some Facebook users who supposedly went through the same experience shared that it was very painful for them. User Ashley Wilkes commented, "It hurt so bad, like beyond words. For me, I screamed the whole time my doc tugged and pulled for about 15 minutes. He was not that gentle." Another user, Kendra Morsky, shared that, well, she tried it when she was pregnant with her first child. It was unsuccessful and extremely painful. She said less than a month after Vanessa's video was uploaded on Facebook. Her husband Nick replied in the comments to share that their baby was born at home on January 16. Head down, first mommy's doing great and recovering well, Nick says. According to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, more than 1/2 of attempts at EB succeed. However, some babies who are successfully turned can still revert to breech position. It's advised for EB to be performed near a delivery room so that if a problem occurs, a C-section can be performed quickly and as necessary. Complications may also occur with EB, including premature rupture of membranes, changes in the baby's heart rate, placental abruption, where the placenta partially or completely separates from your uterus before the baby's born, and preterm labor. EB is not advised if you're carrying more than one baby in your womb. Twins, if there are concerns about the health of the baby, you have certain abnormalities in your reproductive system, or the placenta is in the wrong place, or is detached from the wall of the uterus. According to Dr. Diana Sarmiento, an OB/GYN, who holds clinic at the Asian Hospital and Medical Center and runs the website, Filipina MDPCV is a very specialized procedure. The opportunity to perform these techniques are very rare. Considering the chance of having a breech baby is only 3 out of 100 pregnancies, she says on our website, it's important to clarify with your doctor whether he or she advises an EB if they've done it before, or if they're confident in performing the procedure. Ultimately, the baby's safety is the #1 priority. While it's good to know that these options are available, it's still best to discuss and trust your doctor so you can have a worry-free delivery. Having a baby never was easy. A pregnant woman with a stomachache turned out to have a serious pregnancy complication that was missed during her previous ultrasound scans. The woman's 32-week-old fetus was growing within her abdomen, outside her uterus. According to a new report on the case, when doctors examined the woman further and discovered the abdominal pregnancy, they quickly operated on the woman's abdomen and find her live fetus floating in abdominal cavity without its nourishing amniotic sac. The healthy baby girl was delivered and sent home with her 22-year-old mother in good condition. Researchers in Tanzania said abdominal pregnancies are rare, and when they do happen, they can go unnoticed even if ultrasounds are used, because the pregnancy can appear normal. In an ultrasound examination, the researchers wrote in the report published February 25th in the journal Biomed, central and abdominal pregnancy that goes unnoticed can threaten the mother's life and cause massive bleeding. I've seen maybe 4 or 5 abdominal pregnancies over the course of 25 years, said Dr. Jill Raven, Chief of Ambulatory Care, Obstetrics and Gynecology at the Long Island Jewish Medical Center in New Hyde Park, New York, who wasn't involved in the case many times. These pregnancies are not diagnosed until labor. The woman is going through labor. The cervix is dilated, and you're wondering, why is the patient having contractions and nothing is happening? Abdominal pregnancy is a rare form of ectopic pregnancy, occurring in about 1 out of every 10,000 pregnancies. According to some estimates in abdominal pregnancy, an embryo usually first implants in one of the fallopian tubes instead of the uterus, and then moves backward within the body toward the ovaries. From there it implants for the second time, this time in the abdomen. Diagnosing an abdominal pregnancy is difficult. Raven said it's very rare, but you have to keep it in your mind when examining a pregnant woman who's in abdominal pain. Other symptoms include painful fetal movements and gastrointestinal problems. If it's too easy to feel the baby or at the ultrasound, that might be a sign that the baby is outside the uterus. Raven said if doctors find the fetus is growing outside the uterus, they make an incision in the pregnant woman's abdomen to deliver the baby. The placenta is often left to be absorbed by the body because removing the placenta can cause severe bleeding. The patient has to be followed very, very closely to be sure that the placenta is reabsorbed. It takes a couple of months. Raven said most of the babies that Raven has seen in abdominal pregnancies were healthy. She told Live Science, the placenta is attached to something vascular, so the baby's getting fed from the mother's blood supply, just not in the way that we would like. So many of these babies are very small. Raven said if abdominal pregnancy is detected in the first trimester, doctors usually remove the embryo. However, most cases are not diagnosed until later in the pregnancy. If it's diagnosed in the second trimester, you watch the mother very carefully, but every case is different. Raven said what God miracle, unborn babies have been filmed reaching out to touch their mothers while they're still in the womb, indicating that they may learn to recognize their moms before birth. Scientists recorded fetus is reaching out to touch the wall of the uterus in response to their mother caressing her bump during pregnancy. The study sheds new light on how the bond between a baby and its mother forms during pregnancy. Using 4D ultrasound videos, scientists were able to watch how unborn children reacted to different people touching their mother's abdomen. They found the strongest response when a mother rubbed her own stomach compared to when a stranger did, or even the child's father, suggesting they recognized who is touching a ground to explain why mothers often feel their babies moving about when they touch their stomach, but it can then stop when a partner or friend tries to touch it. The researchers say the unborn babies were particularly responsive to touch in the third trimester, suggesting this is a key period for the development of a child's self-awareness. Viola Marks, a psychologist PhD student at the University of Dundee, who is the lead author on the study, said it may be an indication of the developing bond between mother and child. She said mothers spontaneously and intentionally touch their abdomen during pregnancy, often with the intention to communicate with their fetus. We showed the fetuses responding to the mother's touching of her abdomen. Any stimulation can be beneficial to the development of the fetus and the bonding of the mother, father, and the fetus to understand the meaning of the behavior of the fetus in response to touch and its relationship to the bonding of the mother and fetus, however, needs further experiment and research. The researchers used so-called 4D sonography, which gives live 3D video of a baby in the womb, to study out 28 infants responded to touch by different people, the mother, father, and a stranger. Their study, which is published in the journal Infant Behavior and Development, found unborn babies were far more responsive in the third trimester to any touch than they were in their second trimester. However, babies tended to reach out and touch the wall of the uterus for longer when their mother rubbed her own abdomen. Compared to when there was no touch at all or if a stranger was touching, the fetuses also touched themselves less during the mother's touch compared to when a stranger was doing. The rubbing. Oddly, the unborn babies responded more to the stranger's touch than the father's. Der Amos Nagy, a reader in psychology, also at the University of Dundee and co-author of the study, said this may be due to differences in the way father touched their partner's abdomen. It's possible that the father's worried about hurting the mother and child touched far too gently, while the stranger tended to copy what the mother did herself. Carnegie said it's possible that the babies were able to recognize their own mother's touch in a number of ways, but said more research was needed to understand this better. The mother's touch is accompanied by the movement of her whole body. She explained could also be the style of touch and the familiarity of the touch. An elderly Colombian woman was stunned when she went to the doctor for pelvic pain and was told the pain was caused by a 40-year-old stone fetus. The 82-year-old had been carrying the calcified 4-pound fetus called lithopedion for decades without realizing it. According to the Telegraph, doctors only discovered the rare medical phenomenon after ordering an X-ray that revealed a lithopedion called a stone baby. The woman is now expected to undergo surgery to remove it. Dr. Kim Garsky, who directs the OB/GYN clerkship program at the University Hospital's Care Medical Center in Cleveland, said the condition is so rare that it's only been recorded approximately 300 times in medical literature. Garcia, who did not treat the Colombian woman, said, "The lithopedion is created when a pregnancy forms in the abdomen, rather than in the uterus, when the pregnancy ultimately fails, usually because the fetus doesn't have enough blood supply. There's no way for the body to expel the fetus. As a result, the body turns the fetus into stone using the same immune process that protects the body from any foreign object detected in a person's system." Garcia said it may seem odd, but that process is used constantly in the body to stay healthy. When you get old cartilage in the knee, it calcifies. Garcia explains the calcification of the tissue protects the mother from infection, but also means the stone baby can remain in the abdomen undetected for decades. Most of the time people find these, and sometimes even after they're found and don't do anything about it because they're totally asymptomatic, said Garcia. The rate of an abdominal pregnancy is about 1 in 10,000 pregnancies. However, Garcia said modern medical care usually identifies any issues that would lead to a lithopedion before the stone baby can form. The phenomenon is called a lithopedion, otherwise known as a stone baby, first described back in the 10th century. The calcification usually occurs when an abdominal pregnancy, one that occurs outside the womb somewhere inside the mother's abdomen, goes awry. Its fascination, and the one of having a family that you created or brought into the world. When I was pregnant, I couldn't wait to see my product. All I wanted was a small glimpse, at least when I saw her in the ultrasound. The head looked big and body looked small. I was stunned to see the life inside me, a child really holding up within me. It's a different kind of love from the one you feel for your husband or partner. You have a lot of frustrations once the child comes, but eventually you do know that having a child is worth all the effort. You have someone who will take care of you, hopefully